everybody. So this is not a sponsored video per se, but I did receive the treatments that I'm about to talk about for free in return for making this video. So I am going to treat this as a sponsored video. So I just wanted to clear that up from the get-go. So if you follow my vlogs, then you are probably aware, or if not, I will just tell you anyway. Back in early March, I did, it's called cool sculpting, where you go and have these, I'm gonna do a whole video later this summer once the results are fully in about the whole cool sculpting experience. But basically it's a non-invasive cosmetic procedure where they kind of freeze the fat out of your body. I'm very much oversimplifying, but that's what I had done. And the reason that it's always something I've been interested in the back of my head. I thought this would be great to tighten up. I did it on my lower abdomen. I would love to do that one day. I think for a variety of reasons, where I get the flabbiest is that particular area, and it's because I carry my weight there. I believe that's related to having hypothyroidism. I've had 2 children, so my muscle tone isn't fabulous down there, a variety of reasons. So it's always been in the back of my head, wow, that would be something cool to do. But it just wasn't something I actually entertained doing. And also it's ideal to do if you're at or very near your goal weight, which I wasn't until just recently. But then a company called realself.com, it's a website, reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in picking out a cosmetic treatment in exchange for talking about their website. So I said, well, let me check out your website first and we'll see we'll see about that. I think this fits very well with my channel. I hope you agree, because I'm very much about, before you do anything, whether it's buying a house, picking out makeup, choosing a doctor for health reasons, or even elective cosmetic procedures like this, that you should very much educate yourself in every way possible and get all the information you can before you go to the next step, make the purchase, choose the doctor, etc. And this Real Self community online just dovetails perfectly with my philosophy of fully informing yourself and getting the most education you can on a subject before you go forward. So what is Real Self, or realself.com? It is a website. I like to call it an online community. I think I read there are 9 million or so members. Like, you just sign up for free. It's like a giant message board. And the purpose of it is to review and inform people about doctors, healthcare professionals who perform cosmetic procedures. Anywhere from as simple as Botox and fillers all the way to full-on, surgeries, tummy tucks, breast augmentation, reduction, mommy makeovers, the whole gamut. Liposuction, like the real kind, the invasive kind versus cool sculpting, what have you. I'm not a stranger to cosmetic procedures. I've had Botox done numerous times. It's been a long time. I've had my lips done twice. I have had breast augmentation. So all of those things, I go to different doctors for. I have gone and do go to different doctors for all of those things. And before I did any of those procedures, I did a lot of research, but this Real Self community I did not know about it. I wish I had known about it back then. It would have saved me a lot of trouble. So enough babbling about it. Let me walk you through how I used it to educate myself and pick the doctor that I picked, and I'll let you know if I was happy or not with how that all went out. So you sign on to realself.com. You don't have to actually sign up to be a member to research the site. Initially, I did not, but you can sign up. It's free, so it's nice because that way you can save notes, or if you're looking at a bunch of different doctors, you can click on them and save them into your notebook if you're doing research, so you can compare and contrast, that kind of thing. So that's nice. One less thing for me to have to remember. So the first thing I used Real Self for was to actually educate myself about cool sculpting, to make sure I really understood what it is, because that was for sure the procedure that I wanted to use this site to learn more about and to ultimately, hopefully, schedule an appointment. So I first used it just to read about cool sculpting, read about people's experiences with cool sculpting, how to prep for it, what to expect during it, what to expect afterward. And I found there were pictures, and it's very realistic because these are real people that are posting these pictures, so you can really see and understand everything. Anyway, once I educated myself about the full procedure and I thought, okay, yep, I was right. This is what I want. Now it's time to find a doctor. So you can narrow down your doctor search based on a number of criteria. location obviously is key. I did not feel like traveling to another city or state to get this done. Location within your city, years of experience, languages spoken, all kinds of things you can filter out. I particularly was looking for someone who had really high reviews as far as patient care, and that the interaction between patient and doctor. To me, that really makes or breaks a doctor's visit in this kind of setting. I want someone who can connect and listen to me. I have found that as I have gotten older and I feel like I've taken more charge of my medical care in general, that I want a doctor who will treat me like an equal partner. Even though we are not treating a disease here, it's kind of that same thing. So I quickly settled on one guy, one doctor here in San Antonio, and it turns out, the first doctor to bring cool sculpting to San Antonio. So he had the most experience out of any of the other doctors I looked at, but what really drew me to Dr. Conneru is the glowing patient reviews. It didn't matter whether they had had a very small procedure or a huge, massive surgical experience. Every review was, he's so kind, he listens, his staff, that was key. His staff is so wonderful, from the receptionist to the nurses to the actual doctor. The whole experience was great. So using that as my criteria, I booked the appointment with Dr. Conneru and then continued to read more about what I should expect. Michael drove me because I wasn't sure. It says it's an in and out thing. You can get it done and go right back to work. And I thought, really? So I had Michael drive me. I was a little bit nervous. I wore very loose clothing. As soon as I walked in, I knew I was in the right place. Everyone was the office was beautiful. I'm sorry I don't have pictures, but there were patients there, and I couldn't just sit and film. I don't think people want to be filmed sitting in a doctor's office, but the actual waiting room was very calming and soothing. The receptionist was the sweetest lady. We ended up chatting about our kids, just really welcoming, immediately calmed me down. And then when my appointment time came, I went in right on time, which I have to say, I never expect that to happen in a doctor's office. There's a separate room, a consult room, just to talk to the doctor. And I will admit, seeing his degree from Yale Medical School on the wall, I knew that, researching him, that he had gone there for med school. But seeing that on the wall, not that that's necessarily means he's an amazing doctor, but come on, Yale. That was nice to see. Case Western Reserve undergrad, also an excellent university. So I knew he was really well educated, and I knew on paper, and I knew from his reviews that all of his patients adore the man, but I had not yet met him. Talk about living up to the hype. I mean, that's what I really like about Real Self, is that the reviews were dead on. He was so kind, very articulate, had no problem sitting. I think we talked for 45 minutes before I was like, oh, wait, aren't I here for an appointment? Can I just go now and get this done? I'm good. Let's go for it. But answered every question I can think of, brought up other things I hadn't thought of. Just really very, what could be embarrassing. Nobody wants to lift up their shirt and show anyone their stomach flab. I mean, I don't care what you look like. That's a very vulnerable thing. He had a nurse come in, so I wasn't just alone with him when I did that. The whole experience was very, it was nice. I mean, it was easy. And then the consult room is actually attached to the treatment room, so you can leave all your stuff there. It's your own private little suite. All right, guys, I'm about to hop on the treatment table and get the fat sucked out of my stomach. So I just want to show you the treatment room. So I get this little room here to kind of hang out and put my stuff in and just relax. And one of the reasons I picked this guy, Yale, thank you very much. So just wore some comfy clothes. And then this is the table I will be sitting on. And that's the machine that's gonna do the job. And then the nurse, he oversaw with the nurse applying the paddles to my fat area. I mean, I don't know what else to call it, because that's exactly what it was. And we went for it. I will go into at length in a couple of months the actual procedure itself, because it does take anywhere from 3 to 4 months to see the final results. So I feel like this isn't a good video to show you, but I will say that it's been almost 2 months and you can definitely see a flat stomach that I've never had in, 15 years. So that's exciting. The procedure itself, I will just tell you, it does not hurt to where you're screaming in pain or going, ow, 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 but it's uncomfortable at parts. It's an odd feeling. And I would definitely do it again and pay for it this time, not in that area. He was also very upfront about, you know, one time for many people is not enough. Some people like to come back for a second result or a second treatment to get the full result. He was pretty confident that one treatment would be enough for me. And I feel like I would have to agree with that so far. And if it's only going to improve for 2 more months, then I'm very happy with that. But overall, I'm just so pleased with the experience. They're very insistent. Also, not every doctor does this on follow-up, checking in with you afterwards, and insisting on scheduling a follow-up appointment a few months after the fact before you leave that day to make sure they see you again. These are all things that were important to me that might not be important to you. And when you're looking up the doctor for whatever procedure you're looking at, you know, you can find out those kinds of things about the doctor from realself.com. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. If it's if you're thinking about doing a cosmetic procedure, like I said, anything from Botox to, fillers, lip injections, more like dermatological type procedures, all the way to full-on surgeries. Everything is reviewed. There are doctors there that are even online to answer questions. It was a very helpful site for me to educate myself. And the main reason I did this, other than, of course, I wanted to try cool sculpting, was that I was hopeful it would give me another way to give you an avenue to educate yourself about these procedures. So I hope it was helpful. There are links in the description box below. They're not affiliate links, just so that you can learn more about realself.com. Let me know if you've used it to find a doctor for your cosmetic procedures, if it's something that you've utilized. I'd be curious to know what your experience was. I will also leave the name of the doctor that I used for my procedure. Again, I was so impressed with him. As always, I look forward to reading your comments and hearing about your experiences. Please do share if you feel comfortable. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.